Hey guys, welcome back to HarryMakesItUp. Today I just kind of wanted to have a little bit of a chat with you, a little bit of a catch up. I feel weirdly nervous doing this kind of video because it's not often that I just sit down and kind of say what I'm thinking. I'm probably going to talk really fast. It's a Sunday afternoon, I've got pretty much no makeup on, hair in a pineapple. But I just felt that I kind of wanted to make this video, and I don't know if I'll publish it, but hey ho, we'll see. So I've been thinking about YouTube. I've been doing it for quite a long time now. It feels like, I think it's about 2 years or a bit more, at least doing kind of regularly and uploading on Sundays. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to you guys for being amazing and all your amazing support. All the comments you give, I've so appreciated, and just all the lovely things you guys say. And yeah, I think what I want to say is that because makeup is such a huge part of my life and I love my job, I'm very lucky to do what I do for a living. And however, I think I'm at a point with YouTube right now where, because makeup is kind of like every area of my life, so it's my work, it's YouTube, it's like my hobby, I want to make sure that I keep making content that I really love on YouTube. And obviously Harry Makes Up will always first and foremost be a beauty channel, I feel. But I wrote a blog post about this the other day, that Harry Makes Up is changing. Now, like I said, don't be alarmed. It's nothing kind of being taken away. It's more about adding to. And that's mostly for me and my sanity. I feel like I need to make sure that YouTube for me is a creative outlet and that it stays enjoyable. And, generally it always has been. I just felt at the minute kind of like I was stuck in a bit of a YouTube rut. And I've heard a lot of YouTubers say this, that they kind of feel like, they really value their audiences and they love what they do, but sometimes whether it's running out of ideas or kind of making content that they still feel proud of. And I think I'm at a point now where I feel comfortable with you guys, and we've never had this kind of chat before where I just kind of say how I'm feeling, and that I love the opportunity YouTube gives people as well to share their knowledge, to share their skills, and I want YouTube to keep being that for my viewers as well, something where you guys can learn. And I guess I've just been thinking a lot about YouTube recently because, like I said, I think what I do is very much like I tell you, how to appropriate look or how to create something. I'll share my favourites with you, but I still feel a little bit scared, if I'm honest, about kind of going into other areas because I know there's more for you guys to get to know about me, and that feels quite scary. And maybe I'm at a point where I am ready to do that, whereas it's very easy sitting in front of a camera, and not easy, that's not the right word. It's different when I kind of am just sharing with you what I do as a job, but when it does become a little bit more personal, whether that's my views or things like that, I know I'm putting myself under, I've put myself ready for, what's the word? I can never think of a word when you're trying to have a serious conversation. Scrutiny, I guess, and everyone has their own opinion, and that's a wonderful thing. And the great thing about the internet is everyone has their own opinion. And I know with YouTube, I put myself out there for criticism, and I've always been grateful for constructive feedback and criticism where it's kind of ways I can improve my channel. But maybe a lot of you guys don't know as well that I actually do work full-time as a makeup artist, and with my YouTube channel, I film it all, I record it all, I edit it all. I'm not the best editor, I hold my hands up, I'm really not the best editor. I'd love to be, but also, as I think many YouTubers are, when it's not their full-time job, finding the time to make it as perfect as I'd like it to be. I just don't have it right now, and I would love to, there's so many things I would love to be able to do, with my editing and the way I film. And yeah, I guess it's kind of saying thanks to you guys for being patient with me as well, but also, I don't know, I never felt like I wanted to justify myself on YouTube, but maybe it's just because I know I'm going to go into kind of newer content. And one of the ways in which I wanted to do that, like I said, is kind of sharing some of my other passions with you guys. So primarily this will always be beauty focused, but I think as well I want to make sure that with YouTube it's very easy to control what you guys see, and I think aesthetically it's great to have aesthetically beautiful things to look at, and I think that will continue as well, but also I think it's nicer to be able to be relatable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. One of the things I've spoken about in my blog is that I'm really interested in talking about kind of fitness and body image and things like that, and that's something I'm quite passionate about, and that's totally not going to be for everyone, and I totally appreciate that. But you know, I feel like being a makeup artist as well, I've seen it from both sides, you know, being behind the camera with YouTube, I'm in front of the camera, I open myself up to, you know, some quite nasty comments sometimes, which that I'm going to get that being on YouTube, that's fine. But also what I'm aware of, I think it's when like my younger cousins and stuff talk about wanting to do YouTube, and I almost feel quite protective of them. Like I can handle, like, you know, nasty comments that are just silly people. But it's when I think about younger people wanting to come into YouTube now, and I don't know, it's just made me think a lot recently about, you know, how I would advise someone going into that, because there's so many amazing things about YouTube. And I think for every 10 nice comments you get, it's so much easier to focus on the negative. You know, and I'm human too, I guess that's the other thing. It's sort of very easy to think when someone, you know, especially, I'm not a model, I'm not, you know, sitting in front of a camera is not what I do in my day job. So I think as well, maybe what I want to say is that I have so much admiration for other YouTubers as well that do this full time, or even if it's not full time, you know, just to put yourself out there. It's so brave, and this isn't me being like, oh my god, I'm so brave, but I'm really starting to appreciate how, you know, this isn't my full-time job. And yeah, I think I'm waffling, but I'm just trying to say that I do think you have to remember someone sat in front of a camera is a real person as well. And yeah, I do want to kind of just experiment with my content and, you know, let YouTube be a creative place where I can have it as a creative outlet, experiment. And, you know, fitness is something I've always been passionate about, and, you know, I'm not your average kind of Fitspo person, whatever, blogger, but I just want to share my journey and kind of what has inspired me and how I feel about exercise, and how, to me, I kind of feel like beauty and fitness can be quite interlinked as well. So it's kind of something I want to explore. There's still going to be makeup tutorials and how-tos and stuff on this channel, especially kind of things I'm doing with work I want to share with you guys. But yeah, I really want to make sure that I'm still really passionate about YouTube, and that I'm doing things that, you know, maybe will open me up more to kind of my own views or opinions, and get debate going and conversation going with you guys as well. I always think that's a really nice thing when we can kind of have that community and like share it together. And maybe what I'm saying in not so many ways is I'm quite nervous about that. I'm quite nervous about sharing that side of me, you know. I mean, I think there's always going to be a limit to what you're willing to share, naturally, but also, yeah, I feel like, you know, going into something, talking about things like fitness and stuff, you know, I know there's kind of a lot of expectation on how you're meant to look when you're a fitness blogger and things like that, and there'll be really interesting things to talk about, you know. And also, you know, you guys know I love my planning and my obsessive stationery hauling, and just little things that, you know, I think, like I said, it will always be primarily beauty focused, but I just kind of wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up and say that, you know, I'm so grateful for your support, and, you know, you guys have been with me on this little YouTube journey, and it's not going anywhere, it's not stopping, but I'm just kind of saying I think I need to give myself permission to experiment with it a bit, so that, you know, like I say, makeup is every part of my life at the minute, and it's nice to, you know, I started YouTube kind of as a hobby, and, you know, to still make it something that's fun and enjoyable, which we'll still talk about makeup as well. So yeah, so there's going to be a few additions, you know, you might notice a few little different things here and there on Harry Makes It Up. But yeah, it's funny, I'm really out of breath doing this now. And I feel like there's so much I want to say, and I know when I come to edit this, I'll be like, I didn't say this, I didn't say that, but, you know, I'm learning, like, when it comes to things like editing, when it comes to talking slow enough, you know, I am still learning. It might be like 2 years of doing this, but honestly, like, I'm not a naturally techie person, and I'm learning, and I'm enjoying learning as well, and I don't want to stop that kind of enjoyment. And, you know, I hope, like I said, when I think about kind of, you know, YouTube is becoming a bigger and bigger thing now, you know, I want to make sure that I'm someone who promotes like building confidence and, you know, variation. You know, bodies come in all shapes and sizes, and, you know, makeup is an amazing thing. I absolutely adore it. So yeah, I guess to sum up, you know, Harry Makes Up will first and foremost always be kind of beauty related, and it's always going to come back to that. Still be makeup tutorials and things like that, but even the more I've been doing kind of favorites videos, you know, I found myself wanting to talk about other things, and, you know, maybe talk about things that make me more vulnerable as a human being, especially when sat in front of a camera. And I think I kind of feel ready to do that, so she says. Anyway, But yeah, I kind of feel ready for that, and I'm ready to, you know, just explore a little bit and, you know, experiment really with, like, you know, the kind of content I'm making, and just make sure it's things that I stay really passionate about, including makeup. So I hope you guys will come along for the ride, and I hope you've not minded that this has just been a little bit of a kind of chatty video. I just felt like I needed to make this video. It's kind of been on my mind for a little while to, like, just have an open, honest chat. And you know, remind you guys that I really appreciate all your comments, all your suggestions, and yeah, feel free to let me know what you thought of this video in the comments if you like, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys soon for another video. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.